We are live. I'm gonna make one change here right quick. Give folk a few minutes to jump in here. First of all, ladies, I want to say thank you uh, first to Sigma Gamma Rho for help putting all of this stuff that's going on this weekend together. The resources and location and gathering everyone together for Lend Me Your Ear #2 to address the issues and circumstances affecting the community and the youth. We can't resolve them and find resolution without first acknowledging there's a problem in our community. Secondly, to the mothers that are here with us tonight, for having the courage and the strength to come on even in the midst of grieving, and also to help find solutions so other parents don't have to deal with, I can only imagine, and I'm sure is the hardest thing for you to ever have to deal with. Urban Cast and Involving It All want to thank you for all of you for giving us that opportunity to bring what you are doing to our audience. I guess the first thing I'd like for you guys to introduce yourself. Melissa, I want you to go first.
Hi, my name is Melissa Brown. I'm a member of Mu Eta Sigma Sorority of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Thank you for having us tonight, Urban Cass and Mr. Jack.
All right. Miss Danielle.
Good evening. My name is Danielle Maloney. I'm a member of the Mu Eta Sigma chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, and I echo my sorority sisters' sentiment and being glad to be here this evening.
Okay. Miss Frill.
Yes, my name is Allison Frill, and I'm victim's mother.
And then we have Miss Tamika Brown. There we go, Miss Brown.
I'm Tamika Brown, and I am the mother of Ashley Morty, and Destiny Compton was her friend that was murdered 3 years ago.
All right. This question goes to the Sigma Gamma Rho. What is it that drives Sigma Gamma Rho and your organization to be a part of a community event at a time things like this is so desperately needed in our community?
Well, the ladies of Sigma Gamma Rho, the Youth Symposium is a annual thing we do. It's one of our essential programs. It is held every March, and since the Semi chapter, this chapter here, which is the Mu Eta Sigma chapter, we was chartered. Once we was chartered, we knew that we had to do an essential program, and our youth symposium is one of the ways for us to target issues that are affecting our youth. And we're a nonprofit organization, so everything at this youth symposium is free. We're just asking the youth and the parents to come out, so it's just one of our ways to help our youth to tackle the problems that are going on in our community today. Sarah, Danielle, would you like to add something to that?
I mean, you pretty much said what I was going to say. The only thing I probably could say is just a desire to see things change within our community. Like you just said, we can't solve problems if we don't first acknowledge them, and then we need to address them. We can't just stick our heads in the sand. So that's one of the reasons we do um, these symposiums every year.
Okay. All right. And it was just it really tied into what Lend Me Your Ear was doing. It was just like a natural match, right?
Yeah, yes, it was a natural match. I
Hmm.
wanted to do we wanted to go like a little different direction. Yes, we're
Hmm.
going to have different workshops to support our youth, but
Hmm.
this time we wanted to have mothers of victims that are deceased at this time to come and speak out. To,
Hmm.
we with the laws that are going into effect by a governor, they will affect our youth. So we wanted our youth and the parents to hear these mothers speak on their grief and the process they're going through, and what changes can we make, which, what is the better way this to ask the mothers and the fathers of what we can do, what could we do to stop if we just reach one person going down a path of destruction.
Okay, Melissa, could you go ahead and tell us when y'all's event is going to be, and for everyone that's out there, if you could do the community a big favor by sharing this video and letting everyone know about this program that's getting ready to happen on Saturday here in Ellick, and if you could tell us a little bit about where it's going to be located and everything, Melissa, I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. Our youth symposium will be held at the Bolton Community Center, 232 Bolton Avenue. It's from 10 to 2. We asking you to come at least by 9:30 so you can get registered. Everything is free. So we asking, the youth, different churches, different schools, everybody just bring your nieces, your nephews, and come. Just don't drop them off. We want you to come too, because there might be some important information that might help you and your family or the youth. So again, that's Saturday from 10 to 2. Registration is at 9:30.
Hmm.
Everything is free. You just have to come. We
Hmm.
will be serving lunch. We will have like after morning snacks. We just have a variety of workshops, etiquette, CPR, if you want to learn CPR, interview attire, etiquette. Red River Bank is coming out, Rapides Parish Library. We have the Louisiana State Troopers coming out, fitness. So we have a variety. That's just to name a few. And then
Hmm.
at 1 o'clock, our mothers are going to speak to everyone.
Okay, and how many mothers are going to be on program on Saturday?
To this right now we have three.
Hmm.
But if somebody else feel that's watching this that want to come out and share their story, um, just you can give me a call at 318-229-2360. And this is just the way that Sigma Gamma Rho can give back. We also give scholarships out. So our scholarship is now available to graduating senior girls only. And if you
Hmm.
want an application, you can also email me at Davis, DAVIS, as in Melissa, T as in Tom, the number 41 at yahoo.com. So we do a lot of community service, and we're just trying to get our name out there more so people can utilize the resources that we can bring to the community.
Okay, all right. Well, all righty. Now, this next question go to Ms. Frill. I'm gonna ask you to start it first. We know you have lost a child amidst the circumstances in the community. How do you have the courage and strength to step up to be the face of the mothers and parents who face the same circumstances that you are?
God, yeah, God leads me. Um, because without Him, I couldn't do it. Sometimes I still don't think I can do it, but for some reason, I just can't stop. So I know it's God.
Okay, all right. Miss Brown.
I'm gonna agree with Miss Freya. It's nobody but God. And then for me, my daughter was in an abusive relationship that she kept a secret. And for me, it's about saving somebody else's child. You
Right.
know, I didn't just lose one, I lost two girls. So I want to share with young people to not keep your friend's secret. Tell somebody that they're going through this, because some of her friends knew and they didn't say anything because they wanted to keep her secret. So, and I didn't even notice the signs of abuse myself until I started to study on it after her death. And now I want to educate parents, If you see this happening, please, take advantage of it, stop it. And it's so much help that is out there that we don't even know about that young people can get, if they're in an abusive relationship. But it's very hard. Like Miss Frill say, if it wasn't for God, I don't know where I'll be.
Okay. All right. Sigma Gamma Rho. We interviewed Jarvis and Dominique on yesterday, and they both showed us the passion and the persistence that is needed to really to deep dive and resolve some of these things like drug abuse, mental illness, and youth violence that seem to be at an all-time high in our community. What is it? What is it like as a part of a sorority built on sisterhood and togetherness to watch those young brothers, um, those two young brothers, come together on one accord and try to bring that same bonding to the youth in our community?
Um, Well, last year, Jarvis Fontaine was our guest speaker at our youth symposium. So
Hmm.
to listen to what he brought to the table and just being himself, it wasn't nothing like he was making it up. It was like what he had been through, what he's doing now. And so what better person was to reach out to Jarvis and Dominique, and once they did the Lend Me Your Ear, it just like came full circle for the ladies of Sigma Gamma Rho to reach out to them again to do this youth symposium again this year with a little twist. But it is what they doing is great. And we just want to add on to it and keep pushing our youth to do what's right, because you know what's right and wrong. But like Miss Brown said, they don't know the resources out there. They don't know, if I tell a secret, that's my friend, I'm not going to tell. So just this hearing from the parents, getting the resource out there to our parents is that's what we want to do, along with Lend Me Your Ear too, which we're going to hear for some youth too. We're going to listen to them and proceed with the mothers. So they're doing an excellent job, and we just want to contribute to what they are doing as a sorority, as a sisterhood, because we could be in that position also as these mothers are speaking. So, and with them wanting to prevent this from happening and give us the resources that they have used, why not share all this information? Um, we don't need to keep it up, or we don't need to wait till it's time for us to go to court with our youth. And we know we don't, these resources is there and we can use them. So, and like Miss Brown said, it's a lot of resources out there we don't know about. So with Sigma Gamma Rho sorority, the mothers, Jarvis Fontaine, Dominique Teasley, Sterling Brown, we're getting this information out to our community.
Right, right, right. Miss Danielle, you have something to add to that?
Yeah, I want to, because I'm aware of some of the resources as well, but my main thing is get these youth out here, let them hear the stories of these mothers so they can understand that this is real. I think a lot of our children, they get caught up in the movies and they get caught up in TV and online, and they don't quite realize that actions have consequences. And, they don't make that connection between what they see and what's real life. They think everything is like a movie. So I am hoping that something is said or something is done, and so that they will realize that this is not a game. When you're dealing with guns, when you're dealing with pregnancy, when you're dealing with thoughts of suicide, domestic violence, even in teen relationships, it's real. It's not a game. It's not a TV show. It's not a movie. It's not a drama. It's real, and it has real consequences. So that's why I believe that this is really important.
Okay. Mr. Mika Brown, I want to ask you a similar question as well. What does it feel like when you see the level of care and passion for everyone these guys have, and also the concern to make this their mission to resolve this issue facing the community?
It makes me feel very good that it's out there, that people care so much about our young people to want to help and try to save their lives. Even myself, I do seminars And I started the year my daughter died because I couldn't just sit down and just not do nothing, and it's overjoyed to know that so many people care and want to save our youth, because our youth, they need help. Every time after my daughter's death, it's almost every week you hear somebody's child was murdered, another mother's grieving, and you get tired and you want to help our youth because our youth is our future. And if they all die off, where's the future going to be?
On point. Miss Fear,
Yes.
yeah, the same question to you.
I agree with Miss Brown. The youth is our future, and they're dying off so fast, they're not going to be here to do anything. I mean, the older people are going to be here living a little longer than the younger, and that makes no kind of sense. It
Right.
really doesn't. I was supposed to bury, they were supposed to bury me. I wasn't supposed to bury them, you know.
All right, Miss Danielle, I'm gonna switch it up this time. I'm gonna hit you this one. Um, as a member of that amazing organization called Sigma Gamma Rho, uh, focused on building empowerment amongst ladies. What is it like for collaborating with people who came from different backgrounds but have similar goals in empowering the community like Sigma Gamma Rho does in several of their yearly events, not just here, but nationally? Is there any sense of pride to see that the unity that as a member of a sorority is natural and is happening right here in your community?
Think it's the greatest. That's why I became a part because, you know, you want to be able to make a difference, and sometimes you don't know how to start out on your own. So when you get a lot of other people of a like mind and want to do the same things you want to do, oh, the things you can do. There's so much power when people are united in a purpose. So, I've always wanted to make a difference in the lives of others.
Mhm.
My sorority sisters want to make a difference in the lives of others. And what better way to do it than together?
That's right. And one of the things about that is that it's almost just like the rainbow. Everybody get in their lane, and we
Hmm.
and we all we all got our little part to play in it. And if we yeah, and just to see, I know we're not gonna always agree with everything, but if we get in our lane and stay in that lane, we can hit that other end. Miss Melissa Brown, what you have to say about this?
Just to piggyback on my sorority
Mm-hmm.
sister answer, yes, it's great to know that as a sisterhood we can work with the community, not just in a little bubble with just members of Sigma Gamma Rho sorority, but our goal is to reach the community. That was the goal of our founders, to educate women, to make sure they are productive citizens. Everybody brings something different to the table, but when it's all together, it's just like gumbo. You bring in different items to this pot, and once we are together, it's all good. It really brings a piece of relief knowing that I have a son. Some people are at the wrong place at the wrong time and they become victims. So to get this information and to pass it on, I am so happy that the mothers agreed to speak. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, and the members of Sigma Gamma Rho, because I cannot say it's hard. They only know the struggle that they're going through. Now they're bringing it to the community. And again, we are inviting our parents. Parents, please come. Just don't drop your kids off. If you have to work, I can say this: the mothers will speak at 1. So if you can make it there by 1, that is even great. But if you don't have to work, just come on out. I think one of our sorority sisters is going to come be live. Jack, you can Urban Cast is welcome to go live. Also, if you're not available, if you are available Saturday, but we want to pass this information on, and
Yeah.
like with Sterling Brown, Dominique Teasley, Jarvis Fontaine, they did their part. They stayed in their lane. Sigma Gamma Rho stayed in their lane. The mother stayed in A lane, and we just brought it all together. Everyone
Mhm.
has something different to bring to this youth symposium, and that's the best thing about it.
That's that rain. That's
I
that
know a lot of
rainbow.
stuff. Stuff. They have a lot of stuff going on this weekend. But even if you just can drop by, and that will be wonderful.
You're putting a lot of pressure on me, Melissa. We got, yeah, you are putting a ton of pressure on me because we just we're going to be covering the Louisiana High School Athletic Association's weightlifting meet down in Lake Charles this
Okay.
yeah, folks say some folk even say we're not a media organization, and we don't and things of that nature. But we have media credentials to go cover the kids this weekend. So, but we are making arrangements to actually get the live feed, and if we have to, if we can't make that happen, what I'd like to do, I wouldn't have a problem if y'all was set up and a record a live, and even if we shared y'all share, that would be sharing your share directly to our audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's be
yeah,
good.
so we'll one way or the other. I'm glad to notice that we got a backup in place at this time.
Right. And it's good to, and then you showing the kids that's doing weightlifting, they doing something, they're not out here on the streets, or doing things that they know that they're not supposed to be doing. And that's good. Maybe encourage somebody else to take up weightlifting. So
Well, yeah, when you see what the coaches throughout the community are doing with these young men and young women that are playing, all the way from Oak Hill to Peabody to Pineville, Tioga. It doesn't matter when you see what the discipline that those young men and women, are getting participating in those sports. It's keeping them away from some of these other vices in life.
yeah.
And so it's such a good thing, and again, it's all of us getting in our lane and doing our part, to help us get to the other end.
Right.
So we all have to work together there, Melissa. To the Miss Freya, again, coming on, this has to be emotional for you. As a mother who has lost a child, what is it that drives you to put the emotions to the side and say, I'm going to stay composed and in a control my emotions to be able to and want to tell everyone your story so that they find themselves in the same, so that they don't find themselves in the same circumstances?
Never think that it can't happen to you. That's my thing. I never thought I'd be in this position of having to bury two children, but never think that it can't happen. And the reason why I keep driving and keeping focused is because I want to make sure that we can save our youth. Because without them, there would not be no world. It would just be, yeah, it's terrible. We have to do something to save them. They're dying at a fast amount of speed, uh, faster than I've ever seen, and they're supposed to be able to live life, and they got to stop this bullying and this Facebook back and forth, and just this non-belief in this music, and just none of that is real. But what is real is that we are grieving mothers that miss our kids.
Miss Brown, what do you have to say about that?
I agree with Miss Freya. My daughter, like I said, was in a domestic violence relationship that she didn't tell me. I felt something was wrong, and I would ask her, and she was like, "No, Mama, no, he's not doing anything." And I even asked her friends, "Do y'all, if she's telling y'all nothing?" And they was telling me, "No, she hasn't told us anything." But the day after the girls was killed, I was getting pictures, I was getting texts, and I had to tell them, "Stop, she's gone. It's too late." I don't want another parent to have to go through that. Like Miss Frill said, we weren't supposed to bury our children; they were supposed to bury us, and that's a very painful feeling to look down on your child, and watching my two boys go through missing their sisters is painful. And I don't want another parent to have to go through bearing their child because they're in an abusive relationship and they feel like they can't talk to anybody about it. They feel like they gotta keep it a secret. Friends gotta hold their secrets. You don't, because you'd rather tell your friend's secret and see them living another day than have to go lay your eyes on them for the last time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is some of the worst pain. And if you haven't been through it, you would never understand that. That is some of the worst pain that you could ever, ever, ever have happen to you. Is bearing something that God gave you to take care of, especially for stupid reasons.
Right,
That
right,
that who it has to stop. It does. I
right,
mean, I'm tired of seeing it. Just it's repetitive. Like it's becoming so common that people are not caring anymore. Really.
right.
That's right.
And it's like when you hear another mother going through losing a child, I break down and cry every time I hear a child's been murdered. That's a pain, and you feel that pain with them, with the parents, because you done been through it. My daughter was murdered the day before her birthday. She was supposed to be 20 years old the next day, and her and her best friend, this guy just killed them like they were nothing,
Nothing.
like they were nothing. And these was girls, and for me to have to, you know,
Hmm.
Take your
for
time.
me to have to go through this, I don't want another parent to have to bury their child. I want it to stop. It's time for these kids to grow and live. My daughter was
Live.
getting ready to go to the army. She's never, I'm never gonna see my baby get married. I'm never gonna see have grandchildren from my daughter. And that's something that I think about all the time. And not only that, I grieve with her best friend mother. That was my only girl, and that was their only girl. It's painful. You don't want to see nobody continue to go through that. Something has to be done for our youth.
Yeah, Ms. Brown, I pray and hope that some of and our local leaders, not only our elected leaders in the city, in the parish, but also the leaders of the church, the clergy, the community organizers. It's time. It's time. I was in the military. It's time to put the BDUs on and say enough is enough of this, and it's certainly time. I can't even begin, but I do know it is time. I mean, we're calling. Just before I got onto this meeting, I was preparing the questions that I needed to ask you guys, and the news that was coming in today. Um, it was more important that I get this ready, but it just, even when I see the little bit that I see when we're reporting, and I know that as we have worked with families, and where we started to where we are today, the one thing that we know now is that it's really important um, to bring the loved ones alive. To say who they are, to show a picture of who they are, and we have learned that talking to the parents. Parents have told us they're not a number; they had a name. We
Right,
listen. Parents, we've seen all kind of stuff that parents would just share with us. Cues. Some of the most simplest things that that you just don't ever think you're gonna run. That's something that means so much to folks. And let me get back on track here. So I digress, and so I apologize. Sigma Gamma Rho, Lend Me Your Ear is a platform, is a great platform for those guys started to bring awareness to the issues facing the community. What does Sigma Gamma Rho, how does Sigma Gamma Rho use their resources, your connections to ensure that these type of efforts continue to have the impact that this will have in our community? Melissa, you can go ahead and go first.
Um, every year, Sigma Gamma Rho Mu Eta Sigma chapter will have a youth symposium every year. So every year you will see us. We will be tackling the issues that is for our youth. Because the youth symposium is for the youth. So every year in March, you will see our face in this community, and everything is free that we do. We try to make it free for everybody to come. So, like I said before, we will continue to do this until we don't leave this earth. The ladies of Sigma Gamma Rho, and if you need us to come and be a part of anything, anyone who's listening, we will come. We just try to make everything free. We don't want our youth to have to pay for anything that we do because we are a nonprofit organization, but we want our kids to have the opportunity to get the resources for free. And we will continue to do this as long as we are able to.
Mr. Danielle, you have something to add to that?
Not really. It's a commitment, one that we made when we joined the organization. It's one of our national initiatives. So, I mean, we're going to do it. We don't really have a choice. And even if we did have a choice, we would want to do it because, again, this is what we're here for, to make a difference in our communities and to give back to our communities and to also ensure, or at least try to point our youth in the right direction to see lives change and to see trajectories improve. So I mean, we're already determined. We're gonna do it. There's really nothing else to say on that. She pretty much
Okay.
did.
Oh, look, we went did a little research on Sigma Gamma Rho over the before this meeting, and we just went to work to see what y'all supposed to be doing, and we want to hold y'all to it.
We're going to do it. We're going to do
We can
just
do
I
it.
want to say, I wanted to say, like the mothers had just said, I want our parents to come out because some of our parents, they know what their kids are doing, but what are the resources to help their kids get off that path, to get off that destructive path they're on? So when I say we really want the mothers, the aunts, the uncles, everybody comes out because some of us like to turn a deaf ear to what our youth are doing, and
Mhm.
it's in everybody's family. So we want y'all to come out to get these resources. Listen to these parents because they'll never see a wedding. They'll never see grandkids, like Miss Brown was saying. So we want you to, like the mothers, we want you to come and get this information and get yourself on the right path because we need our parents involved. You just cannot let your kids do what they want to do and then you show up at court because they done did something that they know was wrong. They killed someone and now you crying and saying he was a good child. All along, he was going down a destructive path. So these mothers and Sigma Gamma Rho and Lend Me Your Ear partners are here to give you what you need and to help you. You don't have to do it alone. We want to help you with your youth. Jack, that's all I have to say now before I get
N-
spiritual.
Okay.
But again, yeah, we doing this in Sigma Gamma Rho. We don't have a choice. We have to do what we have to do. We signed up to make our community better, to do things for the community. So, like I said, our youth symposium will happen every March. Every year since we've been doing it, this is our third one. We always been at the Bolton Community Center. Thank you to the city of Alexandria for partnering with us and allowing us as a nonprofit organization to use the building. And yeah, just come out and we're going to do what we have to do to touch somebody, boys or girls. I know I keep saying youth, but our girls also, like Miss Brown said, her daughter was in a abusive relationship and everybody want to keep it a secret. Now it's too late, like she said, to show the pictures. We knew, but why you didn't say nothing? So we're just trying to get that point across. Same thing with Miss Allison. We want to hear their story, and it
Hmm.
might change, the path that the youth are going down.
Yep. 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 Um, Miss Frill, um, this is emotional to even act because I can't even imagine being in your shoes as a parent. But I don't want you to answer it if it's too hard. But what was your thoughts and feelings when you realized that your child had become a victim, and also your family would have to deal with such a dramatic loss? And again, if you don't feel like answering, don't. But,
Mm. It brought tremendous pain to this family because, like I said, this is not our first, this is our second time. I
mm,
buried two sons within 15 years and to gun violence. So I hadn't really got over the first one to start the second. So it was painful to our family. And I
okay.
want the killers to know that it doesn't, after you do what you do to our loved ones, it's over for them, but it's not over for us. We're still here. We still have to live this pain every day. My other children, they have to live this without their siblings. So it don't just affect the person you hurt, it affects everybody that love that person. So
Miss Brown.
Um, I felt like I was in a movie. Like, is this really happening to me? Did my family really just sit me down and tell me my child was gone and her birthday was the next day? Is this true? I couldn't believe it. And my whole family, because my daughter was the life of everything. My family loved her, and my whole family hurts. I mean, from aunts, uncles, grandparents, her brothers. My sons are going through it every day because they miss their sister so much. I miss her so much because that was my little best friend. Um, I just, I like she said, it doesn't end for us. Every day I got to try to force myself to go to work. I got to continue to try to live. His mother can call him on Mother's Day, Christmas. I have to go to the grave. It's so unfair sometimes. So you see my aunts put pictures or they're saying, God, I miss that little girl so much. Or I hear my baby boy say, Mom, I really want my sister. The other day my baby boy said, I'm really finna go to high school and my sister's not here. She was supposed to be here. It just broke my heart to watch him say that. And that's why, I do what I do. You know, um, I even started going seminars, like I said, every year because I want to help. I want my girls to live on because they both was beautiful, bright young women that had a life ahead of them. You know, so it's hard for all our families. We're still dealing with it, even though I just said the other day, has it really been 3 years already? So it's just trying to move on and you can't, like you're stuck sometimes. Just want to hear their voices. Just want to hear "Mom, I love you" one more time,
one more time,
or or get a hug. We'll never get that again.
ever.
What do you ladies want to say to the community? Miss Danielle, you can go first on it, but and we'll go from there. What do you ladies want to say to the community about the event on Saturday, but also about the circumstances that make these events like this so very important? Miss
Can you say it
Danielle,
again?
what do you ladies want to say to the community about the event on Saturday, but also about the circumstances that make events like this necessary.
Okay, so again, it's Saturday from 10 to 2, and this is not just, I mean, if you just heard the stories from these mothers, I'm touched by what they're saying, and I could not imagine. I have two girls, um, and I taught mine not to take nothing off no man, but that don't mean that they won't do stuff and then not tell you about it. In other words, what I'm saying is what Miss Brown is going through, I could just as easily have gone through, or could easily go through. Um, and so I think I kind of already said what I think needs to be said. This is real. We have issues that we need to address, and we need to have a conversation. So if you have a child between from 12 years old and up, trust and believe someone they know, if it's not them themselves, is going through it. Because I've been in the juvenile justice system, I see what happens. So it's out here, it's real. Let's discuss it. You don't have to live this way. Let's get you the help that you need. That's why I want to see everyone come out on Saturday.
Okay. Miss Melissa?
Yeah, just piggyback off what Danielle said. We want you to come out. You don't have to go through this. Um she's in the juvenile system, so I know she sees this on a daily basis, but you do not have to go through this. I have a son and a daughter, and like these mothers said, do not think it cannot happen to you. So just come out to Bolton Community Center this Saturday, 10 to 2, and just hear and gather you some information that will help you, or help someone that you know. Registration starts at 9:30. We will have lunch. If you need any information, you can always reach out to me at area code 318-229-2360. Again, just come out and get this information. This is a group effort with the Mothers, Sigma Gamma Rho, Lend Me Your Ear Part 2 partners, and just come out, because again, that was the one of the what was stuck with me was never think it could happen. It cannot happen to you. So if you don't get anything out this community effort, out of this youth symposium, maybe listening to these ladies tonight, you will get something out of that. If you cannot attend the youth symposium, you still can get additional information. We will send it to you. We will point you in the right direction. But just imagine it, some, like school bombings or school shootings. They always say, if you listen on the news, I didn't think it can happen in our community. Where it's happening, we need to have a conversation about what's going on. And this is the opportunity for you to have the conversation.
Okay. Look, one of Miss Collins just joined us here, so I'm gonna bring her on and let her introduce herself.
Okay.
Hold on one second. Miss Collins, how are you this evening? To see
I'm
some of you,
good. How are you guys?
we're
I'm
doing
sorry I'm
fine.
late joining.
Uh-huh. Well, we're almost wrapping up, but we want to give you an opportunity to just tell us a little bit about you, your child, and anything you want to say about the program that's about to occur on Saturday.
All right. So most people back home know me as LaShonda Moss. That was my name. Most of the time that I was there, my married name now is LaShonda Collins. And these days I go by Goddess Sunshine. That's what I call myself. I do feel like my purpose is to be a light. Um, I am encouraging the community to come out on Saturday to the event. Um, the reason why I was asked to speak is because my oldest son was killed in Alexandria on April 17th of 2022. It was Easter Sunday. He was shot on 3rd Street. My family had already been dealing with a severe loss because we lost my 19-year-old less than 3 months before that. He got killed out here in Houston. So both of them died from gun violence. The impact of those losses is what Sterling reached out to me to see if somebody from our family could comment on. There are no words. um, the night that I got the call that Kenji had been shot, the first calls that came in were he was shot, but they rushed him to the hospital and he's gonna be okay. Like it was real important for everybody to get that to us because we were so far away and because we had already lost Carlin. And when I got the call back from my sister, she was just crying, screaming, telling me that he didn't make it. And I remember throwing my phone because I was so hurt, you know what I'm saying? Like we were already hurt. And to have to add to that, and for me all I could think about was coming upstairs and waking my daughter up to tell her that another one of her brothers had died before she got that news from somebody else or somebody, called to tell her that or she saw it on social media or whatever. So the impact even from day one, like is indescribable. It's hard to put that into words what it means to lose a child, let alone lose children. And I think that this event is really important because, like some of the other ladies said, it's not just the impact that's felt within your house, it ripples through the entire family and it ripples through the entire community. It does not have to be your child, but it's your children's friends that these things are happening to, so they are still being impacted. Um, I think about my dad a lot when I think about my boys because not only did he have to watch me lose my kids and lose his grandsons that way, but then later on in that same year, my nephew got killed. So my dad lost three grandsons in 1 year. That's hard to, you know what I'm saying, put into words, like to be to have made it that far in life, to have raised your kids, and to pretty much see how things are going, and then lose so much. I don't, I don't have the words to even try to describe like the impacts that losing them has had on our family.
Okay.
These days, though, I do see coach, and a lot of that was inspired by losing Kendrick Garland. Um, I'm just doing my. It's lots of blank, you know. It's it's ways that I know that I could have made the situation better. And that's all I can work on. And for me, it's purpose in it to just help somebody else like not have to end up in the same situation.
Hmm. It is real. Um, and the fact that uh, are here and we're talking with multiple moms that have lost multiple children, and and even my own. I know one other. I'm not gonna call any names. Lost two sons, and so just the crazy thought of knowing that we're not dealing with just mothers who lost one son, one child, but multiple children. I just get a. I'm gonna move on, y'all. I'm gonna
Yeah.
move on. Sigma Gamma. So before I go, Miss Frill, what did y'all, did you have anything to say about Saturday coming up? Know,
If you
why?
can, and if they can and they are available, just come out and hear what these young ladies have to say, as well as
Mm-hmm,
myself. And maybe we can get something going where we can save some of these kids.
mm-hmm,
That's it
mm-hmm.
for me.
Okay, all right. How about you, Miss Brown?
Yes, please come out. Parents, come out. Bring your kids. I mean, it's a lot for them to learn. They need to hear, everything that's going on. They need to hear our stories. We need to try to save our children. And I'm sorry, y'all, but I have to go back to work.
Okay, we understand. Thank you so much, Miss Brown, for hanging in there with us.
Thank you, Miss
You're
Brown.
very
We'll see
welcome.
you Saturday.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all welcome. Have a good night.
All
Yes,
right. Thank
ma'am.
you.
Ladies, we certainly we want to thank Sigma Gamma Rho for being a part of this and seeking change in the community. We want to thank the mothers for the courage to come on and tell us their story. We know these issues are here, and we know that resolutions and solutions are needed. We want to continue to be a part of a positive change in our community. Any last words from anybody?
I just wanted to say thank you to Urban Cast for allowing us to share the information this evening. Thank you to the mothers who agreed to share their story. Thanks to Sterling Brown, George Whitentane, and Dominique Teasley for coming aboard with us to make sure this youth symposium is great. My hopes for the year is for the symposium to grow and to just reach our youth. Like the mother said, if you don't have anything to do, just come out and have a conversation with us and learn about Sigma Gamma Rho, learn the resources that these mothers are using to get through their difficult time, and just come out. It's free. You just have to show up, get out the bed, and bring your nieces, your nephews, your kids, everybody. Just come. It's no cost to you, and we will be providing lunch. Again, it's the Bolton Community Center, 10 to 2. We're asking that you come at least about 8:30 to register. And again, just thank you, thank you, thank you.
8:30 or 9:30?
Huh?
9:30, right?
Okay, I'm sorry. I said 8:30, 9:30. I'm sorry. Registration is at 9:30. The program will start at 10. I'm
Oh,
just so excited. I want them to get there early.
That's it. They might beat us there.
No, they might beat us. That would even be great. And
That would be.
another thing I wanted to say, Jack, for the seniors who need community service, come out. We will give you community service for coming to our program. So I know it's like one of the requirements for graduation. So community service will be provided to those graduating seniors.
oh, so graduating seniors that have that requirement of so many hours of community service. Uh,
Yes, you would get at least you would get 4 hours of community service.
oh, okay, all right. I'll make sure I'll update that post and make sure I say that too.
Yes, because I know a couple people reached out to me, and I know if you need to meet your requirements for graduation, this is one great way to come out and get your community service hours that are needed for graduation. So
Hmm, okay. Anyone else have anything they'd like to say before we get off? Well, I definitely want to say thank you guys for being a part of this, helping, helping us spread the word about what y'all have going on this weekend. In addition to that, well, I want to also say to any other Greek letter organizations that are out there, we got programs going on similar to this. Um, Feel free, or any other profit, just give us a holler, and let us know. And we definitely ready to talk about the things that need to be talked about in our community. For the folk who hung with us this evening, I definitely want to say thank you. If y'all could do us a big favor and share and encourage folk to bring children and the family, parents and everybody out this weekend to the Lend Me Your Hand Sigma Gamma Rho Youth uh, Symposium, um, and, and get some knowledge about some of the issues that, or how to deal with some of the issues that we have going on in our community. Again, Miss Collins, I know you came in a little late on it. Did you have anything? I'm gonna single you out right now. Did you have anything you'd like to say to us?
I do want to tell you guys that I have a free ebook in my link tree on my bio on my
Mhm.
Instagram. It's called Finding the Resilience to Honor the Ones That We Lost. I will be talking about it on Saturday, but if anyone, wants to download that and check it out or check out the journal, both of those again are free resources that can help you if you are dealing with bereavement.
Okay, and you need to come back, just send us an email or something.
I will.
And it'll be our pleasure to help you with it. And make sure if there's a link, electronic link that folks can get some additional help, you feel free to share it out there. Sometimes on some of the links it might go grayed out until we approve it or something like that. But if you don't see it, if somebody say they don't see it, just let me know and I'll go unhide it or whatever. But sometimes it's just systematic. But feel free to post that out there. And
I will.
anytime you see our articles, feel free to post that out there. And keep saying it as many times as you need to say it, man.
For sure.
All right. But thank y'all, and y'all have a great evening.
Thank
You too,
you.
Sonny. Thank
All right.
you.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye
Hmm.
bye.
See y'all later.